I don't know if I did the date on that. I can't remember. Let me do it again. Sorry, warming up the old pipes. Hey guys, it's Cam with Craft and Tailored. In this episode of What Is On My Wrist, we are talking about a very rare Rolex Oyster Perpetual. The reference is 1013. This one is from 1967, and they're really cool. This one is in, obviously, 18 karat yellow gold. Can't wait to share the details with you. Let's get into it. All right, the Rolex Oyster Perpetual range of watches, whether it's an OP or an OP date, in the vintage era is commonly encased in a 34 millimeter case. What makes this watch extremely rare and also very unique is that this is a 36 millimeter Oyster Perpetual. So unlike most of the Rolex Oyster Perpetuals or Oyster Perpetual dates that are out there, this one is actually what we would consider oversized because it's actually 36 millimeters instead of your kind of typical 34 millimeters. So let's dive into the details of this. They didn't produce them for that much time, and most of the 10 series range, including like the steel version, which would be a 1018, are oversized Oyster Perpetuals, but they do not have a date function. So it's kind of a cool watch because it's oversized, but it's like having a date just with no date, and it's kind of a pure form of a time-only Rolex. The Oyster Perpetual range of watches have generated a cult-like following over the past, decade or so. But I think most people's complaint is that they're small or, smaller in size, being that they're 34 millimeters. So it's kind of a line in the sand for most people. And that's also why the Oyster Perpetual range typically is a sub price point compared to, let's say, like a date just or the 36 millimeter watches. So these are actually really rare because Rolex didn't make a lot of them. And this is kind of some inside baseball due to the fact that it's an Oyster Perpetual, but it's slightly larger in the fact that it's a 36 millimeter case. So let's talk a little bit about this specific example, as it's quite unique. The reference again is 1013, wears basically like a date just, but you actually have that marker at the 3 o'clock position instead of a date complication like you would find in a 1601 or a 1603 or a 1600 in the 4-digit date just range out of the 1960s into the 1970s. I quite like this watch a lot, and the fact that it is a 1013 is rare because most of these watches were actually produced in steel under the reference 1018. So this is the first 1013 that we've ever had, and it's definitely been getting some time on my wrist and was so unique I just had to share it with you guys. The other unique thing about this specific example, it has this matte white dial and these kind of really cool and interesting markers. You have the Rolex Coronet at 12, and then at the 3, the 6, and the 9 o'clock position, you have kind of like these baton style markers, whereas all the other markers, say starting at 1, 2, etc., are these arrowhead markers. So kind of a unique dial. I really like watches that possess kind of like details on details, and the 1013 is definitely a watch in this specific example that possesses that. So really cool watch overall, definitely hard to find, and there is definitely a cult-like following for the 1013s as well as the 1018s, being that they're an oversized non-date Oyster Perpetual. So really cool watch overall. Another interesting thing to note is that they do leverage a 1570 superlative chronometer rated movement, which is unique in both the steel and in the gold, such as this 1013 that we have here. This one is available for sale. They are not cheap because they are quite rare, but all things considered, these watches sit anywhere between 6,500 to 8,000 depending on the condition of the watch. This one is in superb condition. The white dial is free from any scratches or kind of blemishing, and the markers themselves have kind of developed this like rosy patina, which is quite charming. So really fun watch to wear on the wrist, and really excited to share this one with you guys. So as always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not doing so already, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Craft and Tailored. And if you've got watch questions, we're here and happy to help. Drop us a line at info@craftandtailored.com. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, God.
What do you call an American genus of fly in France? An American species of fly in France.
A fly?
fly.
That's a good one, Pete.
I made it up earlier and I had Alex dying.
A freedom fly? He's an easy target though.